What's going on, everybody? Alex here with Nickens Landscaping and Excavating, and today we've got a new toy. We got a new bucket for our stand-on skid steer, and today we're going to be putting it to the test. I just got it yesterday, and yeah, excited to put it to use. Ordered this thing like 5 or 6 weeks ago, and they finally got it built, and it showed up. So this is what we got. It is called a Hydra bucket. Hydra bucket. Made by CMP Attachments. If you don't know CMP, they make a lot of custom attachments, a lot of stuff for skid steers, excavators, stand-on skid steers, stuff like that. So this is one of their attachments, and basically what it is a Harley rake and a bucket all in one. So on the bottom back of this bucket you have this drum, just like a Harley rake. I don't know how well you can see that, but you got that drum that runs the whole width of the bucket, and I'll bring it up here in a second and show you guys what the bottom of it looks like. But like I said, basically it's a Harley rake and a bucket all in one. And the reason that I wanted to make this upgrade, we have Harley rakes, of course we have plenty of buckets, so not something that we had to have. We can do what this thing does with what we have. But what we run into and what constantly happens, and any of you guys in residential landscape, you know exactly what I'm about to say, but constantly having to switch back and forth between the Harley rake and the bucket. When you're doing work, you try to get everything prepped the best you can to where you can hit it all with the Harley rake, but it always works out that you need a bucket. You got to go back, you got to clean a couple things up, you got to knock down some ridges or whatever between your rows where the Harley rake was running or whatever. So there always is a reason to switch back and forth, or there always is a need to switch back and forth. So my thought with this, and I'm sure it's exactly what these guys thought when they designed this, but now you can do it all in one and not have to switch back and forth. And our Harley rake was getting pretty worn out. We've got the Bobcat brand Harley rake, which I really love going with Bobcat brand attachments, because we have an awesome dealer and it's super easy to run up there and get what we need when we have a Bobcat brand piece of equipment. When you get attachments that they're off-brand attachments, or they're the cheapo Chinese attachments, sometimes it can be hard to get parts. Some of the orifices are weird, some of the threads are weird, sometimes you need weird custom O-rings, stuff like that. And the pumps, the bearings, all that kind of stuff can be goofy sometimes. Sometimes it's standard, depending on what attachment we're talking about here, and of course hydraulic lines are pretty standard, but that's what I've run into. So to make a short story long, that's why I like Bobcat attachments. I like being able to go to my local dealer. I like them to be able to punch in a serial number and give me the part that I need, and most of the time they have the stuff in stock, or they can get it within a couple days. So like I said, to make a short story long, that's why I like Bobcat attachments. But this one is it's a specialty. It's different. It's something that I really have been wanting, and with our Harley rake just kind of getting worn out, it's needing some TLC, to put it mildly. So it was time to make an upgrade. We got this thing, and I think we're really gonna like it. I've only used it for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna put it to the test here. I gotta spread this dirt. That's about 2 tandems worth of dirt. So I gotta spread that out, and then I'm gonna rough it all in, and I'll take you guys along for that portion, and we'll see how this thing does. All right, so initial thoughts after moving all that dirt. We got everything moved. What we're trying to do here is just build this edge out a little bit. Some of that behind the fence was only about 3 foot off the fence and it was causing it to settle. So that's what we're doing with the dirt. But after moving the dirt, I will say the bucket holds a lot of dirt. It comes out from the plate, we'll call it, up to the tip of the bucket. Comes out quite a bit further than a standard bucket. So the capacity is still there. Even though you lose that capacity back there where that drum is, you gain it by the bucket being out further. So the capacity is definitely still there, which I really didn't expect. So that's awesome. There's a couple grease zerks. There's one here, right in there. It's packed with dirt already, but there's one in there. And then there's a hose that comes up, which is right there, you can see. But that comes, I guess, the bearing for the motor, probably. But anyway, capacity's there, visibility's great. This is the new redesigned MT style. The older one came up all the way up to here, and they said the visibility wasn't as good, so they switched it to this one. But capacity's great, visibility's great. The only thing that I think I need to look into, which I've already had someone suggest this to me, is there's some kind of hose saver, they call it, which is probably some kind of support that comes up here that can hold the hoses out of the way, because they're kind of wanting to dangle down, but you got to have them somewhat free so you can dump the bucket. So so far that's the only thing that I see that I probably need to tweak or make an adjustment to, but other than that, it's pretty sweet. So yeah, now that we got all the dirt spread, so let's go ahead and use this bucket as it's truly intended to be used and get all this ready for seed. Alright guys, well, I think she does a pretty good job. I think a little bit of a learning curve, like any attachment, just like a Harley rake. But I think the learning curve for this would be way less than a Harley rake. Just because you keep your bucket flat and you really can't screw it up. As long as your ground's flat, the more contours you have, just like anything else, the more difficult it's going to be. But for something like this, keep the bucket flat, keep going over it, and it's going to work itself out. And it did a really good job, getting pretty deep. I like this is pretty good soil, but did a great job. You get a couple inches there, 1.5 inches at least. I do like the teeth on these much better than our Harley rake. They're a lot bigger. They stick off the drum a lot more. These ones, I don't know what they are. I didn't measure them, maybe 1.5 inches, something like that. Where our other ones are probably only 1 inch, somewhere in that range. So just that simple fact alone, it's going to be able to dig deeper. And like I said, I think once you figure this thing out, I think you'll be able to do something like this super quick. I went over it a couple times. I was kind of playing with the angle of the bucket just to see what I could get it to do. But all in all, I think this is a sweet attachment. It's going to be a nice addition to our arsenal, and that's why I wanted to make this video. Introduce those of you that don't know what this is to it. They've been around for a long time. It's nothing new, but it is a sweet attachment. So for those of you guys that don't know about it, you probably think this video is pretty cool, or this attachment's pretty cool at least. So all right, well, that's what we got. If you got any comments, leave them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer those. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up and let us know that you liked it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.